Guess who's back? Mortimer! Our son is here. Family trip to the Magic Kingdom.
Because it's time
to face our mistakes.
I don't want to do that part. Do parents have to do that?
Yeah, we have to face our mistakes. You might have seen when we brought a fake baby to Disney World to address a little bit about what parents go through when taking their kiddos to Disney World.
But now it's time to fix our mistakes.
Oh boy. Now Emma and I are not real parents, we're just mouse plush parents.
Which is really special to us.
It's very special to us. We also have done a lot of traveling to Disney World with babies and little kiddos, and we have a big team behind us backing us with tips from parents for parents. So we shared a lot of those in our last video, but there were some mistakes with how we handled taking Mortimer to Magic Kingdom and some great tips from you guys in the comments. So we wanted to share those today and maybe go over some of the things that went wrong.
I honestly thought I wouldn't be embarrassed this time.
Are you embarrassed again?
I don't want to get out of the car again.
I mean, I'm much less embarrassed.
It's
I will say,
significantly
for
less,
sure, less
but it's
embarrassed.
Still here in my chest.
Also, what scares me now is that now, like, we might run into some of you guys, and you guys will know Mortimer. I think I'm actually pro that.
I respect it because then it doesn't seem like crazy. Like if you guys, please, hey,
actually, if you see us with Mortimer, please come validate us.
Please, for real.
Address Mortimer.
Just talk to him.
Talk to him.
He's a little quiet, so he might not respond.
He's
just shy.
Just shy.
He loves a hello.
Our first mistake that you guys pointed out in our video was that we put Mortimer just on the counter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the stroller. No, don't be Mortimer.
And by we, I mean Emma did it.
I did do that.
Now, this is actually pretty indicative of something that you can learn about taking a baby to Disney World, and that is that you're going to need your hands for a lot of things in Disney World. Eating Mickey bars.
Even just having your phone out to use My Disney Experience, having your toddler in one hand, your phone in the other,
pushing a stroller.
Bottle.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a lot of things.
It's the same as when you're home. You need your hands a lot, and maybe your baby takes up a hand if you're holding them. So a baby Bjorn can be really helpful, or another sort of baby carrier. One thing about this though is that Disney World is very hot, incredibly hot. And so you can worry about your own comfort and the baby's comfort and safety being in that baby Bjorn pressed up against you. If you're traveling at the less hot times of year, I would recommend a baby Bjorn. I came with my best friend and we literally just put that baby in the Bjorn, and the whole day we were like, come on, baby.
I mistakenly carried my cousin in a baby carrier like that, like 2 or 3 summers ago. She was very cute, I loved her, but I finally had to say, please take this off of me.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I was just covered in sweat. She wasn't happy either. Babies can't regulate their body temperature as well as we can, so it was just not great for everybody all around.
Our next mistake that you all pointed out came when we left the house, which was when Mom here put Mortimer in the car in a very safe and delicate manner. Not advisable for real parents. Shockingly, this is incorrect.
It's illegal. Florida, just like all of the other states, does have laws when it comes to seats and children in cars. So when it comes to children 5 years old or younger, they do need to be secured in a federally approved child restraint system, so like a really solid seat belt. Children 3 years old and younger must use a separate car seat, so you know what you think of when you think of a car seat. Children 4 to 5 years old or anyone who is less than 4 feet or 9 inches tall actually have to sit in a separate car seat or in a built-in child seat or seatbelt, depending on their height and weight, so it can kind of vary. All of this to be said though, this long lovely spiel, your kid has to be in a car seat and they have to be wearing a seatbelt. If you are not driving around Walt Disney World though and you need to get around, you can use Uber, and there's actually a special order that you can do called Uber Car Seat Ride. Basically that is where Uber provides one forward-facing car seat for a child who is at least 2 years old, 22 pounds and 31 inches tall. I checked. And the child is probably too big at around 48 pounds for the seats that Uber provides. It is a $10 extra charge, but if you've got a younger kiddo and you want to be able to use it and get around Disney World without using Disney's transportation, that's going to be a great option for you. If you are keen on using Disney World transportation though, and you still need that, you can utilize minivans. They have a very similar offering as the Uber car seat, and they will have car seats in the back of the minivan as well. However, you should double check with your driver when they get there what car seats they have available based on your needs. I will also say minivans provide screens for your kiddos so they can watch Mickey shorts. So if you're going somewhere that might take you a little bit longer, or your kiddos just had a long day, that's a great option as well. What were you gonna say?
Mortimer loves Mickey shorts.
He does. He really sees himself represented there.
Yeah, he relates to Mickey Mouse.
He does. I don't
I don't really
get
see
it, but I think it's the character.
Yeah, I think Mickey Mouse is supposed to be relatable to us all.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think Mortimer really gets that.
Now, I will say if you're going to use that Uber car seat option, sometimes you are going to see higher wait times for your car just because there are several people that are going to be using that but not as many available. If that's something you're concerned about or you're in a really big rush, you might even consider renting a car and making sure that you have those provided so that way you don't have to wait on that long wait. You got the cover? He's going to need that. It's really hot.
You did this last time and I don't know.
Okay, Dad.
Okay, this is forward facing.
It's your child too. You should know how to use his stroller. That's all I'm gonna say.
Fold it up. How does this go on?
Well, let's work on folding it first. We have to get it on the tram, girl.
Here?
No. Oh, okay. We'll talk about that in a second. We gotta fold it first. Do you want me to hold the baby?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
One of the wheels.
Oh, this one down here in the front?
Yeah, right, look at that. See that wobble?
Yeah, I see the wobble.
I'm gonna fix that when we're on the boat.
You're gonna fix it on the boat?
Yeah.
With what tools, Dad?
I'm assuming I can fix it without tools.
She says she assumes she can fix it without tools. I don't know. We'll see on the boat. We'll see on the boat.
With a loose wheel on his stroller.
Okay, well, it's really early in the day. We'll just talk about this on the boat. Alrighty, we made it onto the riverboat. And normally our tip is if you don't have kiddos or wheels, is to go upstairs. But we have kiddos and wheels.
Or am I sleeping?
We're downstairs. He's also a baby. And I don't want to lug this stroller upstairs.
No, me neither.
So, downstairs. Are you going to fix that wheel?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Fix the wheel. I'd like to point out,
It's
Mortimer
this
is not in the stroller. He's in my lap. What's the plan here? She jiggled it. I bet that'll help. Oh yeah, that did it.
No, I don't need an instruction book.
All right, honey. Okay, I'm gonna cut this until she fixes it. In classic dad fashion, Quincy forgot to make her park reservation. So she's making one now. Luckily, there are lots of reservations open today and she just has to go make one. But this made me giggle.
We've arrived in Magic Kingdom.
We made it!
With Mortimer.
He's in his stroller.
He's awake, he's getting hydrated.
He's a little thirsty, which actually we're gonna talk about hydration later.
We will. Okay, keep that in mind. But one thing that you guys pointed out is that, sorry, I keep walking in a circle. One thing that you guys pointed out is that sometimes introducing your kiddo to a cast member isn't the whole thing, because what if they don't know your phone number? And we have solutions for you. Disney World is a big place, and though it is relatively safe, your kiddos can wander off once they're of that age. And there is probably nothing more nerve-wracking as a parent or as a friend of a parent than when a baby or kid goes missing. Very, very scary. So there are a couple of things you can do to make sure your kid is safe. If this is to happen, because things like this do happen, but you want to make sure your kiddo knows the phone number by heart, make them memorize it if they can, and if not, what we recommend is getting something like a bracelet where you can put your phone number on the kiddo's bracelet, so if they do wander off, a cast member who reaches them knows who to call. Another great option, there are companies that sell temporary tattoos, which can obviously work for pretty much the whole trip. If you get a temporary tattoo of your phone number and put it on your kiddo's arm. Regardless, we do highly recommend introducing your kiddo to a cast member, showing them what a cast member's name tag looks like so that they know who to go to if they can't find you, and then let them know where they can point out your phone number. And that's a great way to make sure you're reunited with your kiddo. If in any instance your kiddo does go fully missing, you haven't heard from them, often kids are taken to the baby care center or town hall guest services. So reach out to a nearby cast member and they will direct you to where you should probably head to look for your little one.
So one of our next mistakes that you guys kindly pointed out, and you're not wrong. You're entirely correct. I'm just embarrassed that we did it. We did fight in front of the baby, and maybe we said some things about him that hurt his feelings. He doesn't even have the gall to say he's sorry.
He doesn't speak yet. When I was working on the shot list, I was talking to some of our team about it, and they literally were recounting times that their parents fought in front of them at Disney World as children. Yeah. These are adult people.
Yeah.
Megan, one of our fellow YouTube managers, she truly was telling me about a time that her parents fought in front of her at Disney World, and she still remembers it as one of her core memories from when she was like 5.
Yeah.
So very much don't fight in front of the kiddos. The vacation's about making magical family memories, so try not to make unmagical ones if you can. And fighting in front of the kids will make an unmagical one, and your kids will remember. A better way to do this is say, Mortimer, let's go look at the shade. Morty, go check out. Look at the.
You got one here.
Yeah, you check out the. Yeah, you put him in the shade.
Which actually is relevant.
Yeah, put your baby in the shade.
He's in the shade.
All right, that's good. Yeah, Mortimer, you stay over there.
There's some stuff I need to talk about.
Yeah, we can just where we can see him, but just kind of over here.
So he's not smiling.
He's not smiling for the pictures.
And I don't really know how to handle that.
No.
I think, maybe like a nice
Photoshop.
Photoshop is an option that we have that you said just now. I was thinking maybe we could just tickle him or, have the cast member kind of say his name.
Oh yeah, we can try it. We can try it.
I mean, if it really matters, we could have like a treat.
Yep.
Like a little reward.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm glad that we sorted this together. Kind
Far
of
away from him.
So
Me too. I'm glad we've sorted this out.
He's having a nice time in the shade.
Yep.
I'm glad we did this.
Me too. Last time we were here, we didn't share a favorite family tradition that Mom and Dad actually do every time they're here in Magic Kingdom with Mortimer. So we absolutely are going to do that today, and that is eating Plaza Ice Cream on Main Street. So we're gonna do that with Morty and talk a little bit about a very important tip that we glossed over a bit last time. All right, we are headed to Plaza Ice Cream Parlor. This is the hard pack ice cream location here in Magic Kingdom. You can get soft serve a couple other places, but if you want some tasty Edie's hard pack, this is where you're gonna want to go. They also do like sundaes and such, and they are very, very tasty. Edie's might not seem all that special. You can get it a lot of places, but there's just something extra special about eating ice cream on Main Street USA in Magic Kingdom, where you can see the castle. So it's definitely a tradition for us, a weekly-ish tradition. We are here a lot, and we recommend it. If you're looking for new Disney World traditions, this is a good one.
Smell that waffle cone?
Oh, smells good. Mom is sharing with Mortimer.
I am.
She got a cone, which we highly recommend requesting a bowl, because even if you're not with a kiddo, that ice cream will melt fast. You can see it's already melting.
I just wanted to taste the cone.
Yeah.
But realistically,
it's gonna melt.
Gonna work out.
No. But Morty's favorite flavor is cookies and cream. So
cookies and cream.
He loves it.
Oh, the bites.
He ate it all. Oh, Morty. We've chosen this table strategically because what we want to talk about with ice cream is that there's one thing that we know ice cream causes for Mortimer, and that's a diaper blowout, which is why it's nice that we're so close to a restroom at this particular time. We got a lot of comments that we didn't fully address the drama of a diaper blowout, and you were exactly right, we did not. Main reason for that is because you can't film in the bathrooms, but we do want to talk a little bit about what diaper change can look like in Disney World. If you've got a diaper-aged kiddo, you'll know that diaper blowouts are unavoidable. They will happen. They will happen at inconvenient times. If you watch our video where we spent the day here with Mortimer, you'll see that ours happened while we were in line for It's a Small World and we had to leave the line. If that does happen, you can head to your nearest restroom where there are, of course, baby changing tables. They are typically on the large side and very well lit. I can't film in the restroom, so I can't show you, but trust that they are there. Another option is to head to the baby care center where you might be able to get a little more privacy. There are also family restrooms located around the parks that you can see the location of in the My Disney Experience app. And if you go to one of these family restrooms, you can have a little more privacy, a little more time if you need them. And that's great for an older kiddo who maybe is no longer diaper age, whether there's a bathroom accident or not.
One thing that you guys didn't necessarily mention directly, but I think is really important that we didn't talk about last time, is hydration in kids. So we harp on hydration a lot. I've already been through 2 of these today. It is so important, especially in the summer heat. But one thing that we think is really important to note to you guys is that your babies, you know that you think about this subconsciously, but you might not think about it directly. Your babies can't communicate with you when they're getting dehydrated or when they're getting hot. They might start crying, and that is their form of communication, but that normally means they're already a little bit dehydrated. And just like adults, if you're dehydrated, it's probably a little bit too late. You should have been drinking water before. So focusing on making sure that you and your kiddos both make sure they get all of that water that they need is going to be a huge, huge important part to making sure your day is great. And frankly, anytime you take a sip of water, make sure your kiddos are also taking a sip of water. Hey, so did you fix that wheel?
Yeah, I got it all fixed on the boat.
It's pretty much still, it's doing exactly what it did.
No, it's like way better. That's how it came. It's like this, and I fixed it up.
I don't think that's accurate.
No, it's good.
Okay. All right, we've made it over to Tomorrowland. Maybe for like a stop somewhere else,
Morty actually wants to ride a ride this time.
Yeah. We're actually gonna make it on a ride. This is gonna be huge for us. So, we're excited, but there is something else to talk about before we hop on that ride.
Whether you're at a restaurant going to see a show or seeing a ride, you might have to park that stroller, as we're doing now. One thing to keep in mind that a lot of people suggested to us is to get a stroller cover. This is something that is really important if it rains, to help keep just like air and bugs off your stroller, just things like that. Stroller cover is a necessity that we don't have because we haven't been able to purchase one yet, but absolutely you need a stroller cover. Many parents in our comments shared that they had an issue, and if they would have had a stroller cover the first time they came, it would have been solved. One of the biggest needs when it comes to coming to Disney World with a stroller. Another thing to keep in mind is that even if you bring your own stroller, a lot of people might have the same one, and I promise we didn't plan this.
No, that I didn't even realize that when
There's literally a family with a stroller, that our exact same stroller right here. But you're gonna want to keep an identifier on your stroller as well, even if you do bring your own. Those Disney strollers all look the same, so do your strollers. So whether it's tying a ribbon on the handle, putting a sign with your name on it, something to make sure you know it's your stroller. Because remember, those strollers can move around, and you can learn a little bit more about that in our first baby video. Now, another of our big mistakes last time, if you watched the video, was not coordinating ride times and eating times. Mortimer wanted to eat or got unhappy pretty much every time we were in line for a ride, and we actually made it on no attractions. So something we've done better today is coordinating when we know that Mortimer usually eats. So you know your kid best, you know when they're gonna get hungry. Make sure to sort of coordinate. If you're gonna get in a really long line, don't do so right before your kiddo's gonna need to eat. It's also a good idea to have snacks or a bottle on you just in case. Some of our audience shared that they do tend to keep an ice pack on them with some cool snacks for the kiddo. I don't think that's how you carry.
He's fine, he's just on my hip.
He's just so small. It looks like you were he's a very little baby. It's also a good idea to just scope out some sort of quieter corners of the park. One of our favorites is actually right here in Tomorrowland. If you go past the Joffreys in the corner, what used to be the smoking section is now just kind of a shady bench area, which is a great place to go and make sure that Mortimer is not overstimulated, is getting the snacks and the water that he needs, and maybe the sunscreen too.
Yeah, I also love going to Carousel of Progress. Anytime I'm with my family and we need to take a break, maybe take a little nap, cool down. Yeah, there's music, but it's significantly quieter than all of the crowds.
True. Mortimer is cursed to never ride a ride.
Yeah, we're getting dumped from the queue.
Yeah, so even though Mortimer was in a good mood to ride People Mover, we are not going to get to because the ride is broken.
And they're kicking everybody off?
They're kicking everybody out of it. So here we go.
And now he's crying.
So we're gonna have to come up with a solution here. All right, so to get Morty to calm down, we've crossed over here to the old smoking section. Hey, Mom.
We're just having a little water break.
Having a little water break, get him calmed down. Mom and Dad are probably gonna reapply sunscreen too, because it's a very hot and sunny day and we gotta keep our skin safe, but we gotta talk about baby sunscreen, also very important. Disney World's hot, it's sunny year round. And for more than half of the year, the UV rays tend to be extreme. As a pale-skinned person, it's hostile to me personally, as well as anybody like me. And it will be hostile to your baby or child. The sun is dramatic here. Do you think I'm selling this?
I think they're doing a good job.
Yeah.
It's the double sunglasses that are
Well, that's important for the eye protection.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what's really important for both you and your kiddos is sunblock. And you want to reapply regularly, especially on little ones. My rule is every hour, but if you are sweating a lot or getting wet at all, if you're on a water ride, do every 30 minutes. Babies have sensitive skin and they can't regulate their body temperature as well as adults, so things can get a little tricky. For instance, babies under 6 months ideally shouldn't use sunscreen. So try to keep your kiddo in the shade as much as possible. Put that stroller canopy to good use, and I would highly recommend, if you've got a kiddo that young, looking into a stroller that has a fully covering canopy. The Disney strollers do a pretty good job. The one we purchased, Mortimer's been in the sun a lot, so you definitely want to make sure the canopy is covering them. You also want to dress your kiddo for the sun. Loose-fitting clothing that cover arms and legs, and if there's any issue getting like shade or protective duds, you want to use a little bit of sunscreen on smaller areas like the face. But it's better to just kind of keep your kiddo out of the sun as much as possible. Another thing that a lot of parents recommend is using a mineral sunscreen for kiddos, since the ingredients aren't as harsh as chemical sunscreen. And sunscreen creams tend to work better than sprays and offer more consistent protection. I'm actually very passionate about this. One thing that you can ask any of my coworkers is that I never use a sunscreen spray. I only use sunscreen cream.
True.
And that is because never in my life have I used sunscreen spray and not gotten burned somewhere. I always miss a spot. It's always not the coverage that I'm looking for. Whereas with a cream, it takes a little more effort to apply, and it's worth the effort every time.
She has completely converted me. The only spray now I use is on my scalp, and just because it's scalp spray, like intended for that.
Yeah, I highly recommend using a cream. And in general, just wearing sunblock can make a bigger difference to your vacation than just avoiding sunburn. One thing that I find is that if I'm not wearing sunblock, the UV rays get to me more. I feel more tired. I have to drink even more water than otherwise. And I usually get crankier when I'm wearing sunblock and reapplying. If I don't get that burn, I'm less tired, I'm enjoying my vacation more, and the sun doesn't feel as like draining. So even if you don't burn, I recommend using sunblock. Even if you like those with darker skin, the sunblock can protect you as well. I'm very passionate about UV protection.
She is.
So,
as she should be.
Yeah, wear sunblock, have your kids wear sunblock. It will make for a better time even if you don't burn usually. So, you know, SPF it up. Emma, where are we going? What are we doing? Why are we so close to the gates?
Well, okay, so we got kicked off People Mover. Well, we honestly never made it on People Mover. We did not make it on People Mover, and he still won't calm down, even though we did kind of take our break. So, you know.
Sounds to me like it might be nap time.
I think it's time for a midday nap. It's so hot. I think it's time for a midday nap, maybe for Mom too.
One thing that we did not do in our last video, we talked about it, but a lot of you said it is core to traveling to Disney World with little kids, is taking an out-of-park break midday and heading back to the hotel for a little bit of air conditioning, maybe some pool time, and a little bit of rest. Kiddos also tend to really enjoy pool time. We've heard a lot of stories of kids requesting to go to the pool at incredibly inopportune times. You might be taking your kid to every park. It's so expensive. It's so cool. Coolest ride they've ever been on. They still might think their favorite part is the hotel pool. That's just kids. They like getting wet.
I, one time, was leaving Magic Kingdom after fireworks. It was maybe midnight. Like, it was really
I think we were together for this.
And that little kid goes, "Can we go to the pool? Are we gonna go to the pool today?" And the mom goes, Today is over."
It was midnight. It was so late. We were exhausted. But I bet you that kid had a nap midday.
I bet he did.
Yeah, let's take the boat. So we're gonna take Mortimer for a little bit of a nap back at the hotel, grab some lunch outside of the overstimulating heavy crowds so that Mortimer can make it to the end of the day. So that's where we're headed now. All right, we just took a quick boat ride. Really quick, about a 6-minute boat ride, and we walked up right as the boat got there, which was pretty cool. And we're now at Grand Floridian, which is not where we're staying with Mortimer. We wish it was. Mortimer, we think, can nap in the stroller, and we also need to get him some lunch. And if you might remember, we had some issue with Mortimer and the mac and cheese. Not this kind of mac and cheese. He wants Kraft. I think that we can maybe solve that this time.
With narcooses.
No, not with narcooses.
I was really hoping it was narcooses.
I think that would be the opposite of the solving. I don't think Mortimer would like narcooses.
He would love the ocean charcuterie.
One thing about Mortimer, he loves clams. A lot of construction here at Grand Floridian right now as they refurbish some of the rooms and such, but we are headed inside to Gasparilla Island Grill, which is the main quick service location here at Grand Floridian. A really great resource if you're staying here, but also, in my opinion, worth the stop if you need a little break from Magic Kingdom. One, it's just nice to walk around Grand Floridian, and two, they have the best mac and cheese in the world, maybe. That might be dramatic, but in the Disney World for sure. Mortimer was not a fan of the mac and cheese at Cosmic Rays last time we went, so we're gonna see if he likes my favorite mac and cheese in all of Disney World, which is here at Gasparilla Island Grill.
All right, so here we are with our sweet baby boy in tow. Sorry, he's sleepy, midday nap almost. One thing that you guys did mention when we did our last video, our last lovely experiment with Mortimer, is, you know, he did not like his mac and cheese. He didn't eat it. So we, as the parents, felt the need to eat it in the moment because we didn't want to waste it. But what a lot of you guys recommended is actually bringing a Ziploc bag along with you. So whatever that food is, or even just a to-go container, whatever the food is that they don't eat, you can save it for later, and they might change their minds and they might want it later. And you don't have to go somewhere else and pay for a different snack. So always make sure that you're bringing like a Ziploc bag or even a little container, whatever works best for you and your family. But so that way you can save your food, even if they like what they're eating, they just don't finish it. Take those leftovers. I will also say, when we have talked about Mortimer and his eating habits, he's been a little bit more of a toddler. He's not been eating baby food, Disney World does not necessarily have baby food in parks at all. They do have it at some resorts, but they do have it at Baby Care Center. However, if you know that your kid has special allergies or just has different needs or different brands that they like, you need to make sure you're bringing it with you to Disney World, and you can't rely on that Baby Care Center. But if you're fine with whatever, Baby Care Center is going to take good care of you.
And just like that, Dad is back with our mac and cheese and also dropped our fork in the floor.
I did do that. I'll be back again. Moment of truth. Does Morty like Dad's favorite mac and cheese? Mortimer? Don't get it all over your face.
This is delicious. He loves it.
Just like his dad. Oh, mac and cheese is so good. There's a ramp. Go to the right. Just some little behind the scenes tip is that Emma has not been very good at getting the stroller up and down stairs. Definitely would have added some more mistakes to our day had that been filmed. Another mistake that we want to talk about, you all might remember it, is that somebody here, and we're not naming any names, did eat all of Mortimer's Cheerios. Can't say who it was.
Quincy did it.
We will find them.
Her father, his father.
We will find that person, whoever ate all of Mortimer's Cheerios, and we will bring them to justice.
It was perhaps his father.
I didn't think he would want more. It's all he's eaten today. Anyway, Emma and I got in a pretty big fight about the Cheerios situation. Was not staged. Was true. Tensions were running high. But what our tip there, the mistake that we made was obviously eating the kiddo snacks, but it was also not having backup snacks for the kiddo and for the parents. There's no reason you can't bring some snacks for you. Certain restaurants can even make a PB&J upon request, even if they're not on the menu. So if you're really having trouble getting your kiddo to eat something, look for Uncrustables on menus or request that a PB&J is made and see if they have the ingredients for it. We had a reader say that they saw this at Cosmic Rays before. In general, the two best spots for picky eaters in Magic Kingdom are going to be KC Junior's and Cosmic Rays, which is where we took Mortimer, but that even he was even too picky for that. But those are going to be great spots to find some of your more basics, some things your kiddo is going to be more familiar with, and maybe be able to get them to try some theme park food instead of having to rely on the Cheerios in your pack or the Cheerios in your stomach if you ate them all.
Like Quincy did.
Like somebody did, and we will find them.
Quincy.
Overall though, and I think we did a good job of this last time, but the biggest thing about taking your kid to Disney World is to make time for the magical moments and focus on those magical moments. Things can get dramatic when there are little ones involved, and we know it can be frustrating, but magical memories is what it's about for them and for you. So keep a positive attitude.
My mom also says now that we're grown and adults, she doesn't even remember the bad times, she remembers the good times, and that's what's important.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's really nice.
And that's certainly how we'll feel about Mortimer, our son.
Our baby.
If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe.
Now go check out the first video where we make all of our crazy mistakes up on the channel now. We'll
See you there. Bye. Say bye, Mortimer.